I'm pregnant, but my husband doesn't know that. What? Being your husband, he will have the responsibility to take care of your child, even if he is aware that he is not the dad? Nobody can question you and the law is there to support you? What law? Okay, maybe it'll make sense if I read the whole thing. As a precaution, frame some against your husband so that if he plans to move legally, you can counter it with this. Contact any female lawyer and make sure she is a so that she can help you more sincerely than go for a divorce and claim good alimony and maintenance so that he can't marry again with his financial capability. Being a I wish you all success for your fight against the
What?
And then they wonder why men aren't willing to get married anymore.
Father God, that's me again. The men that you created to love us, the men that you created for us to be companions with, companionship, don't like us, Lord. Did you know that?
Didn't I give you a man and you divorced him and now you're a single mom?
They did it to themselves, but don't want to take accountability, so they blame others, without realizing that blaming others will never solve their problems.
It's a term we should all become familiar with. Toxic. If you're a woman listening to this, hear me out before you get your in a bunch. Since our society only chooses to focus on toxic, I'm here to provide you with my list of the top 5 toxic. Number 1, utter disdain for men. Usually these are the women that categorize all men with the stereotypical toxic traits. Here's another shocker, ladies. Just because someone has a Y chromosome does not mean that their only intention is to sleep with you, cheat on you, or you with their uncontrollable and behavior. Number 2, always trying to outman men. It's funny to me that the same women who want to be equal to men also pray for the of men. Amazing how that works. Ladies, if you spend your entire life trying to prove to men that you can be better than them, you'll attract none of them and kickstart the extinction of the human race. Disrespect for traditional gender roles. I'm going to speak directly to the men with this one. Just because some voices are louder doesn't mean that others don't exist. There are still women out there that believe in and respect traditional gender roles. No accountability. Bask in oppression and victimhood. It's their go-to excuse whenever they're confronted with irrational behavior. If a woman isn't willing to take accountability and instantly rationalizes her actions with her oppression, you're fighting a losing battle. And lastly, inflated egos. These are the women that have literally no respect for themselves, but feel that because they're a woman, they deserve nothing less than a Wall Street billionaire with a purity ring who agrees with literally every.
Now, let's take a look at them complaining about the consequences of their actions. Chivalry was a privilege, not a right. Women lost that privilege because of their actions. Complaining that men aren't chivalrous anymore won't make us suddenly change our minds.
If you have ever wondered why it's so hard to maintain a happy long-term relationship, one of the many reasons is that no one wants you to. Let me show you an example. All right, we got a simple video here of a wife hugging her husband before he leaves for work with a pretty simple message. It says, "I want to be a wife my husband is glad to come home to and sorry to leave." And that, dear boys and girls, is called a toxic relationship. And he probably cheats on her all the time. Yep, this is dramatized and pathetic. We no longer live in a society that can support 2 people, much less 2 people with children on an average income. No man wants a woman who just plays dress up all day and can't support herself. Imagine if instead of telling him about the baking that happened today or how much laundry you did, you changed out of the flowy skirt, contributed to the financial pot so he doesn't have to work crazy hours, and then you'd actually have lots to tell each other when you both came home at the end of each day. You're the one who makes him leave. If you worked, you wouldn't have to work so many hours. That's right, men hold all the power until a woman willfully chooses to be nice to him, and then she's taking advantage of him. Y'all are so unhinged in your single and lonely rage you can't even pick a lane. Let women love their men, you weirdos.
My life made a lot of sense to me. I grew up in Seattle. I went to school. I majored in business. Now I'm a comedian. My parents are ticked. But there's so much stuff in school they didn't teach us in life. So I'm going to show you how life really goes down, what they do not teach us in school, right? You wake up into your world in about age 16. About age 16, you start saying to yourself, oh, I have to get a job one day. So I'm going to have to work real hard at a skill to make money. But you know what? I want to make a lot of money. So I'm going to work for years to become an expert at this skill. Then I get a relationship going. Now I have have to keep the job going because she needs a lot of money. But now, not only do I have to be an expert at my job, all of a sudden I have to be an expert at relationships. This is hard. She wants me to be masculine yet sensitive. I don't know if I'm supposed to be Richard Gere or Richard Simmons. Then we bought a house. Now I have to be a plumber, I have to be an electrician, I have to be a landscape artist, I have to be an expert at taxes. Now we have children. Now I'm a doctor. Now I'm a doctor, I'm a mentor, I'm a theologian, and all of a sudden I hear from my wife, honey, I don't get enough attention. There is no time!
People meet people nowadays. Being a single gal in a single world, where do I go if I don't want to go on dating apps? Like, I don't like dating apps. I've had them. I've tried them. I get disappointed. I get discouraged. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Dating apps, if you're going to think this person is attractive, you're probably going to swipe yes. And if you don't find them attractive, you're going to swipe no. But sometimes people just aren't photogenic. They just don't present themselves well through photos. That's why I just feel like it's so much better to meet people in person. Also, just like with having dating apps, like, it just feels forced. And I don't want it to feel forced. I want to like go out in public, meet someone like in the wild, both just happen to bump into each other and you're like, and then, you know, sparks fly. I just want to know where. Like, where do the single men go? Where are you going? Where are you hanging out? Like, if you're in the garage, like, come out. Like, are you at the lake? Are you snowmobiling? Are you fishing? It's wintertime. What are you doing right now? It's funny. How am I this amazing? Like, and single? Like, are you kidding me? And like, for the longest time, I just like wasn't worried about it. At this point, I'm like, I'm 31. What is happening? Like, is there just no one left? Put me on a dating show. The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Love Island. I don't even care. Just put me somewhere so I can actually like interact with the male race. I'm not interacting with males.
3 things I learned after losing my boyfriend. Number 1, listen to each other. Francesco used to always say to me, when you get in my car, acknowledge me. Don't be on your phone. Give me a kiss when you see me. And I used to get annoyed. Like, what's the big deal if I'm on my phone? I see you every day. All he wanted was acknowledgement. And for me, I was stubborn. I wanted to do what I wanted to do for what? Why couldn't I just respect him and just do what he wanted me to do? Which didn't take much. Now I would do anything for that kiss. Listen to each other. Sometimes it's not that hard to make each other happy if you pay attention. Number 2, be okay with saying, hey, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Put your pride and ego aside. If you're wrong, admit it. I think it's pretty empowering to be wrong. Being wrong is a good thing. It's how you learn, it's how you grow. Show the person that you acknowledge that you could do better. It'll get you really far in the relationship. Number 3, don't fight over stupidity. Literally sit down when you get upset and weigh out the options. Weigh if it's like worth the fight. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes things are just like a quick conversation and that's it. To blow things out of proportions, life is just fucking short. And if there's anything I learned, it's that.
If you enjoyed this video, I promise you'll enjoy this next video. I will see you there.